If you have short time to train, but you want big results, what do? I have at least 6 recommendations. Hey folks, Dr. Mike here for Renaissance Periodization. Training the least to get the most. The hostess with the mostest. How do you do minimalist training for muscle growth? Which is to say, how do you train the least amount of time if you still want some gains? Come on, busy dad. Come on, grad student. Get in the gym. Gains for everyone. Today, we will talk about minimalist programming, but to set a few expectations and get in a few caveats. Yes, this is a science channel, so it has to get lame for a few seconds. Stay with me. I'll definitely give some program samples, but this video is more about giving you guys a theoretical understanding. Don't worry, it's not overcomplicated, of how to make your own programs that are minimalist and take the least amount of time possible for the best results that you can get in a short time. Once you know these principles, definitely give you a sample program or two to follow along with, but you're going to be able to make your own programs and program for your clients if you have some and really, really do a good job. Was it to give a man a fish, teach a man to fish? I was never into fish, but whatever that analogy is all about. You can use the RPI Hypertrophy app, link in description, to make all this super seamless and effortless and all as auto-organized. You don't have to use it, but it's a good idea. So give that some thought. After all, this is really tough to say out loud. My butlers are trying to start a union because they actually want more money to buy even more Lamborghinis, which is what they do for me. And on the one hand, the collective action, I love it. It's great, civil rights or whatever, union shit. But also, I don't like them having a lot of power. I don't like them being friends with each other or agreeing with each other. Mutiny is always just a short bit away, and I am Russian. So Stalin kind of killed all his people off all at the same time. Am I even saying? I don't know. I'm just saying, just get that app. You feel me? Your boy needs money. Caveats about minimalist training. Minimalist training, and I hate it when people don't mention this or they actively try to steer you into the wrong direction. Minimalist training will get you minimalist results. It can get you good results, but never great results, because great results are relative and your best results are achieved by full send training. There is not a plan I can give you that'll give you the same results as if you trained like Jared Feather, IFB Pro, and did 10 sessions a week, mostly 1-a-days and 2-a-days grouped together. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to get 10 hours worth of hypertrophy from 3 hours of training. It's just not possible. I wish it was. I would fucking train 3 hours. Fuck 10 hours. It's just not going to be a thing. Next. So contextualize that this stuff will work great, but it won't work as good as it possibly can. Nothing replaces hard work, period. Next, we're only going to talk about hypertrophy in this video. If you want the quickest way to get strong or to get powerful or to get fast, that's maybe another video we'll do down the line. Let me know in the comments below if you're even interested in a video like that. Turns out I know other things. I went to school for sports for a long time, so I can talk about it, but just talk about muscles lately and just flex in my own mirror and look at my genitals like anyone else would. And this is not a video about training to maintain. You can train to maintain your results even less work and even less time than what I'm going to describe to you, but training for maintenance means you're not improving, and you guys probably want to improve. So what are the principles that allow you to get the most from the least? If you have short time to train, but you want big results, what do? I have at least 6 recommendations. First, ditch any lift that requires long warm-ups. If you deadlift and you're strong and you can pull 5 plates for reps and you have to take your time in warm-ups, which is a good idea for something like deadlift, you're going to be deadlifting for 30 fucking minutes until you actually do your first work set. You want a short workout that really crushes your muscles, gets you muscle growth? Nothing that requires long warm-ups is possible anymore. Let me give you an example. Squats, I don't know, man, long warm-ups. It's possible to do them, but in many contexts, it won't be a good idea. Lunges, usually people don't warm up a lot for lunges, then you're totally good to go. Next, ditch any lift, or more technically bias yourself marginally away from lifts that require a lot of setup and or tear down. Deadlifts are another terrible example. Put the fucking weights on the bar. Here's another one. The hip thrust, traditional with the barbell. I've seen like 120-pound girls do 5 fucking plates on a side. how fucking long does it take to put the plates on there? Also, it's on the ground. So if you don't have a deadlift jack, you got to roll it on the 2.5, roll it back. You're not getting in and out of the gym quick if you're doing lifts that have a lot of setup and tear down. So it should be kind of go, go, go kind of stuff. Body weight moves are great. Dumbbell moves are great. Preloaded barbell moves are great. But shit where you have to slide weights on and off, machines can be great if you're at a gym where you can get access to them relatively quickly. It's not a super busy period. Selectorized, boom, you go. If it's stacking plates and stuff like that, that takes a long time. Number 3, use as many compound lifts as possible and as few isolations, and also use compounds that tax multiple muscles relatively evenly versus biasing to one. So if you say compound movements and you choose the wide grip bench, yes, the wide grip bench taxes your front delts, your chest, and your triceps. However, it barely taxes your triceps. It taxes your chest a lot. It is a compound in name and in actuality, but as an effect, it really just trains one muscle at a time. So if you just did wide grip bench and you say, yep, chest and triceps both taken care of, saved a ton of time, 2 exercises in one, that's not really true. You really do need to do more work for your tricep. You just didn't save yourself any time at all. However, a close grip bench press, especially one in which you place the bar not at your nipple line, but the bottom position is a little bit above your nipples, can be, I said nipples twice. And I'm touching myself now. Scott Video Guy, what kind of channel are we running here anyway? Scott's only response was, focuses the camera a little closer. If you do more of a JM press combo close grip bench, you can get a fucking ball or pec stimulus and an amazing tricep stimulus at the same time. Another example, wide grip pull-ups, cool. They train the shit out of your back, your arms a little bit. Underhand close grip pull-ups, now we're talking about a lot of bicep, a lot of rear delt, and a shitload of back. Now we're winning. So choose more compound lifts and lifts that tend to hit more muscle groups than just one at a time. Next, point number 4, low RIR is the way. Insert as many Mandalorian memes as you like into this conversation. Low RIR means what? Very few reps in reserve. We're talking about 1 rep in reserve, 0 reps in reserve, or all the way to psychotic failure. You don't have a lot of time in the gym and you're not worried about fatigue because you don't train that often. You're going to want every set to be as effective as possible because you don't have to worry about fatigue accumulating over the weeks and weeks because you just don't train enough to actually have that happen much. Yeah, you're going to want to go really close to failure and everything, and that's really good. Next, when you're choosing the structure of your program, can you do set, rest, set, rest, set? Yes, but you're resting a lot, and that's pissing away a lot of time. What you can do is reduce the hypertrophy stimulus in any one set a little bit by, instead of resting, you do an antagonist or unrelated superset during that time. Here's an example. Close grip bench, rack. Walk over to pull-ups, underhead pull-ups. Wait 30 seconds till you're back to breathing normally-ish. Because it's a rapid, you don't want it too normal, and roll right back to benches. So it's muscles that you aren't using in one lift, you use them in the other lift, and you stack them one after another, one after another, one after another. What ends up happening is while one muscle is recovering, the other muscle is being trained, and so on and so forth. You can take 30-second breaks or minute breaks between the supersets, or even 10-second breaks, or even no breaks at all if you're really in good cardio shape. That gives you a double whammy of fucking kind of a ball of cardio stimulus, because if you're minimalist training, you probably don't have time to do your own cardio. And it gives you a really good hypertrophy stimulus. Now, would you grow more if you rested properly? Yes, but that would require way more time than you have. Since you're short on time, you still grow amazing if you go back-to-back supersets. Next, lastly, things like myo reps, where you do a bunch of curls, rest for 5-10 seconds, do much more, rest for 5-10 seconds, do as many as you can, rack, and then switch to tricep extensions. Those myo rep sets and drop sets, so if you're doing cable curls, you do 100, go to failure, clank down, 80, failure, 60, failure, and then go to tricep pushdowns. Those kinds of myo reps and drop sets, anything that can condense the amount of work you do, minimizing the rest time, and keeping you closer to failure, and thus in that hypertrophy zone, that's really good stuff. So these 6 points, screenshot that shit, remember it, and when you're designing a program for your clients or for yourself that is rapid fire, a decent amount of hypertrophy stimulus in a very short time, if you stick to these principles, man, you can't go wrong. It's going to work really, really well. Right there, sample program for you guys. I'm not going to belabor the point. All the sets are 20 rep max loads, your 20 RM on every single one of these lifts. That's not a hard rule, but a 20 RM can get you on baller cardio stimulus, and it's not so heavy that your reps are going to go down to 1 and 2 by the end of the shit. And you don't have to warm up a lot for sets of 20. So if you're doing sets of 5 to 10, to be safe, you got to do a lot of warm-up sets to be able to lift that much weight. But if you start with sets of 20, you might have to do like 1 or 2 warm-up sets, and then you just fucking go. Each one of these has a 1x myorep pause, which means when it says 2 sets of close grip bench, that means after you do close grip bench close to failure, you rack it, rest for 5 to 10 seconds, take it out again, and do as many reps as you can. That is 1 myorep pause. Then your set is over. Then you go and do your underhand pull downs. When you do underhand pull downs, you do a set, go to failure, rack it, rest for 5 to 10 seconds, hit it again, and then you go and transition back. This is some fucking high intensity shit. 30-second breaks between all sets. So you can interpret that in one of 2 ways. Both are fine. If you're not the greatest cardio shape, you do close grip bench, for example, you rest 30 seconds, you do underhand pull downs, you rest 30 seconds, you repeat. Or if you're in pretty fucking good shape or really want to condense the time frame, close grip bench, no rest, underhand pull downs as labeled, then rest 30 seconds, then 2 sets, then rest 30. Whichever way you do it, 30 seconds is just an average recommendation. It can be 45 if you need it. It can be 15 if you need it. It could be 0 if you're a real fucking baller. Take a look at all those lifts. That's a Monday, Thursday program. I'm not going to belabor talking you through this whole program. It's kind of obvious stuff. SS, even though sometimes I made it capitalized and sometimes it didn't. You know what? I'm just going to fix that now so you guys don't have to obsess about why some of the SS capitalized and some not. And we're good. Okay. SS stands for superset. SS also stands for a very bad thing that happened in the 1940s. But I have so many jokes to make about that. I don't think I'm Jewish enough to make those jokes without getting canceled, so I'll just shut the fuck up. There's the program. Give it some thought. One thing I do want you to notice is the following, and it's a little bit of a principle here. You'll notice that the lifts, the muscles we start the lifts on in Monday sessions are the opposite ones we start on Thursdays. So lift number 1 on Monday is close grip bench. Underhand pull downs are second. On Thursday, lift number 1 is dumbbell 2-arm bent row, which is back and biceps, just like underhand pull-ups or underhand pull downs were. And that's supersetted to incline dumbbell press, which is a pushing lift. So basically you have a situation where if you're doing multiple days in a week like this, which you probably should be, at least 2 days a week can get you in some good shape, you don't want to bias because they always start with chest and triceps. Then your back and biceps are always going to be a little bit more tired and you're not going to see as good of development. But if one day you start with a muscle group or a series of muscle groups, and then the next day you start with the opposite one, you get a very even development. It's better for your joints and connective tissues. All winners all around. So to make your own program, you can use the sample program verbatim, no problem. You can even type it into the RP Hypertrophy app and it'll display it for you and auto-regulate all the stuff. It'll be great. Mix and match any of the listed combo lifts. You can use any exercises of choice that you like or have available to you. Again, remember the principles, use the compound movements that tax a bunch of muscles at the same time, et cetera, et cetera. It's not a hard rule, but you can still do some curls and push downs, but that's if you have more time to give. If you're not getting a great stimulus, increase the number of sets if and when you have more time, but often time will be a constraint. And you can add in as many days as you like. A program just like this, which is sort of whole body every day, you can do twice a week, 3 times a week, and even 4 times a week. No problem. Each of these workouts, if you're pushing it, should take you something like 30 minutes to perform. Guys, this is not a 30 minutes to hand wave at. This is a brutal fucking 30 minutes. So make sure you have another 30 minutes in your lunch hour to shower and to shudder in a cold sweat sitting in the locker room afterwards, because these workouts will fuck you up in the best way possible. You will be working that ass. So get ready to get in shape. Give this a shot. And my last reminder to you is this: you go hard as fuck in every single set, because you really probably won't overreach, because you don't have enough time to put in that much high volume of work per week. Cumulative fatigue is not really a big concern. Go hard. You can take a deload when necessary. Bonus round, your cardio is getting good as fuck. So if you want hypertrophy, but you don't have a ton of time, maybe you have a total of 1 hour in the whole week to train. split that up into 2 half-hour periods, get that ass in the gym, do some of these fucking supersets. It's going to be tough. It's going to be brutal. You're going to get great results, and you're not going to have to spend a lot of time. So you can go back to doing the things you love, like managing your Lego City collection. Even though you're not 8 years old anymore, some people have passions that are childlike, and they continue into their later years. Or you can have friends. Fuck that. See you guys next time.